Hey, it's Ryan from Scalepath. Want to give you a quick tour of what you can expect in our sandbox environment. So when you log in, you'll see a demo model, and you'll also see an upgrade button if you wanted to build one of your own. In the top right, you have your account settings, organization settings. So if there's others you want to invite in to see how it works, you can certainly do so there. We're going to jump into a demo model for an automation software company. So this company sells to a couple different verticals, and they have a hardware component and a recurring revenue component as well. So right away, you get kind of the summary overview of this market. So you have your TAM, SAM, and SOM, what that means from the number of companies that have the problem that this company solves, what it means from a revenue opportunity, and what it means for locations as well, if it's sort of more of a location-driven business. If you go down a little bit further, this is sort of the data that backs up that high-level view. We have the number of companies, sort of that customer potential, how many companies have the problem that you solve, the revenue, what does it look like when how much value can you capture from each of those customers that come through the door, the portion of the market that's serviceable and obtainable. You can drill into this a little bit deeper. So we have, automotive manufacturing. You can click in and see what is that actually made up of. So we have, basically car and truck, light duty manufacturing, motor vehicle parts manufacturing, and then we have some engine turbine and power transmission equipment manufacturing as well. So that's the high level view. You can jump into different segments of the market as well. So this is the total market. Let's just drop into the portion of the market that we can actually service to kind of take a closer look at what that means from a revenue standpoint. So here we've broken it out by number of companies and locations and revenue opportunity by company size. So you can see, a lot of companies at the low end of the market, 29.99 employees. But as you move up market, certainly the enterprise segment is more attractive from a revenue standpoint. And then we have vertical segmentation as well. So you can see of those three high-level verticals that we've identified, what does that mean for your TAM, SAM, and SOM? What sort of the different size of those? So automotive and construction look to be fairly equal, with pharmaceutical manufacturing a smaller segment there. Next, we'll jump into geographies. So we have state-by-state data on every company in the US. So once you have that high-level view of your TAM, you can drill into see how does that opportunity break out by region. This is helpful when you're planning out your sales territories, making sure you have equal opportunity in each territory. When you're planning out your field marketing initiatives or where you want to have the next event, it makes sense to plan some of those activities for areas where you may be a bit underpenetrated, where customers are, but you don't have a good presence in today. So you can click into each state. You can see the top states on the right here. If you want the full data set, you can download that in Excel format. And finally, we have growth trends. So understanding, how big the opportunity is important. Understanding how it's changing over time, I think, is equally important. Oftentimes, companies or markets that are fast growing create more opportunities for companies to invest in. So here we have a breakdown of just how the market's changing in terms of companies, locations, and employment. Are companies getting larger? Is it shrinking? Are they hiring more? You can kind of see all that here, and then a breakdown for each of those segments in terms of the number of companies, how that's changing over time, how revenue is changing over time as well. So that's kind of the view that you get of the software in the end. And how we get there is every time we onboard a new user, we do a 1-hour market sizing workshop. And we look at customer potential, we look at the ability to capture value, and we look at the capabilities and constraints that sort of define the market that's serviceable and obtainable. So just to walk you through what we did here, we've looked at customers. We've created 3 different vertical groups. So we have automotive manufacturing, we have pharmaceutical and medicine manufacturing on its own, and then construction. So you can add more verticals here. You can add more groups. Really, the purpose of this section is to just identify the types of companies that have the problem that you're solving. We just looked at USA data, and we're including all business sizes in this study. Next, we look at the serviceable market, and we basically want to filter out any customers that we don't have the ability to service today. And so we've pulled out anyone less than 20 employees, but that's really the only change here. We just don't have the ability to service some of those really small organizations. Next, we look at obtainable market, which is really defining what your core market focus is. And so in this case, we're keeping all of the verticals, but we're refining our size a little bit further, just going after the enterprise clients. And we're saying there's about 30% of the market that we're really not able to service today. And that's likely due to competitive reasons or likely due to not really being in the market for a solution over the next number of years. So you just want to filter those companies out. Next, we have unit economics. So first, just define what your revenue model is. In this case, there's one-time revenue for a hardware device that has a 5-year average lifespan. And then we have a monthly recurring component as well. You can segment your revenue by size or by vertical. In this case, we're just looking at it by size. And then you plug in the numbers, say how much value can you capture from each of those customers when they come to you. So the one-time revenue, it's $500 device, and at the small end of the market, they just need one device. As you go up, obviously more devices are in play. And then there's a monthly recurring component as well. So lastly, we have market share. So you can plug in some numbers in terms of what your current revenue is, what your growth rate is, what your price increases are, and then that gives you the report. So that's a quick tour of Scalepath. Hopefully that was helpful for you in terms of understanding, what kind of value you can get out of the product. Of course, every time we do this, we do that workshop because we want to make sure we're applying the right data to your context, and we're going to walk you through every step of the way. If you want to find out more, let us know. Just reach out to us through the app or through our website, scalepath.io. Thanks.